All right, we're back. Sorry, we had to fix our video issues for whatever reason. The scope was not wanting to connect. We had to literally reboot everything. This is gonna be a pretty easy. Well, I say easy, but the a repair that's not gonna be as difficult to get done. So one of the things we're gonna do is we're gonna add some solder to this, and uh, and then we're going to remove that yellow sticky stuff that you see on there. The yellow, it's an adhesive that's placed on there by Microsoft. We're going to remove that. And I forgot. Got to add a little bit more flux to these pins back here as well. We're fusing our leaded solder with the existing solder. This is just to lower the melting temperature whenever we solder the new board back on. Okay. Now we're going to use our hot air, and then we're going to remove the sticky thing here. We're going to warm it up a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and clean burnt flux off of this. Okay. That's done. And then let's go ahead and one of the things I like doing is moving this out of the way. Especially when I'm cleaning, I don't like that getting all over my brush. So we're just going to move this out of the way. Whenever it's squeezed in, it'll squeeze it back in. And now I just want this out the way. This thermal putty. Stay over there. Okay. Alrighty. Then we can add a little bit more flux to this. We're going to solder the new port back on. We are prepping the port. Hold on. It's holding this. Oh, okay. That's um. Okay. Through there. I'll drop the other one. Sorry about that. I got only one. Okay, that goes there. This one goes here. Okay. But it should be working just fine now. Okay, so nothing should be holding my microscope. I did some movement this morning, so some of my wiring are not cooperating with me, but otherwise everything should be working fine. There we go. Excuse me. You're not going to cough all over your ear. Alrighty. Go ahead and solder the new port back on. Solder it on, of course, we have to heat it up from the bottom. We're just going to go back and forth, side to side. Make sure that these ground holes, as well as on my pads, melt. And now we'll drop the new port on in its place. You're going to put hot air on both ends. Okay, this one's starting to get ready. Right side. I'm waiting on the left, as well as my pins. Looks like someone just sent us a message. Or sounds like someone just sent us a message. Awesome. This is ready for us to drop the new port. Okay. And then we're going to press it down. Make sure this port is held by all 4 ground pins. And then wait for it to melt still a little bit. And then we're going to move this out to side. Add a little bit more flux to the ground legs. Flux helps with micro soldering. Make sure that it grabs everything it's supposed to. And that the solder comes up and actually grabs a hold of the ground legs. There we go. I see it coming up. There we go. Need that to happen on both ends. And now we are able to move it side to side just the way I want it. Okay, and now we're going to press it in the middle. Hold it down. Release our heat. Wait for my solder to solidify. Okay. It's solidified, and now we can check our work. Make sure that our pins are good. Make sure the bottom looks good. Now this is perfect work right here. This is what you call Man, perfection right there, man. Look at these solder pens, man. Get impressed every single time I do this. Got no loose pens at all. They are all soldered on. Look at these ground legs. Proper solder came up. All we have to do is clean our mess. And by our mess, I mean the flux. Definitely need to clean the flux off for this. I don't think there's no other shop in town that does this type of work. I don't know, maybe there are some experienced people out there. But there's so few of us out there, to be honest, that actually do perfection type work and take pride in our work. Some people are just, they just want to make a quick buck. That is it. And of course, we're in it for the business, of course, also to make money. But however, I personally take pride in my work. And the employees I'm training, trying to teach them the same values. People will judge you, and they'll decide whether they want to go to you based on the work you provide to them. Look at that, man. Look at these pens. Perfect. And those ground, man, I'm telling you. Only thing, and of course, there was quite a bit of solder previously on these, and these look big. So we're going to make corrections on that. Add some flux. Flux. And we're going to remove all the excess solder off the bottom. The excess solder. Awesome, perfect. Perfect. Telling you, man. Okay. Oh, I kind of messed up right there. I don't like the fact that that solder went to the ground side. No, come back over here. Please come back. Can we suck it up? I don't know. Let's try. There we go. It didn't adhere to the ground. There we go. Man, that's perfect. And we're going to clean, of course, the flux. This bottom part. You never want to leave your mess anywhere when doing any sort of micro soldering work. You got to make sure that you clean up your mess. All of your mess. Just leave it clean for the next technician. Be like, man, who worked on this before? They did an awesome job of cleaning. That is, if someone else, ever touches this console. Hopefully, we do an immaculate job, and if it goes bad again, customer decides, you know what? I already went to these people once. They did an awesome work. Let's go back to them again. All right. I like that solder work right there. Let's check the ESD booster chip. ESD booster chip is still good. It did not move out of place. That's good. Let me just wipe down the ESD booster chip. There's a little bit of flux in that area. Okay. This is good. Let's go ahead and put this console together and for us to be able to test. Let me grab the parts here. All right. So this one had two issues. Of course, the HDMI was the main one, and that's what the customer wanted, is the HDMI to be repaired, which it's now repaired. We just need to test to make sure it's going to work. And then the second issue, which he wasn't necessarily too concerned about, but if we could save the customer some money and just get the overall console repaired, why not? The power button's not working, and I believe the ribbon cable off of it is actually broken. So let's go ahead and add some fresh thermal paste to this real quick. We're gonna add some fresh thermal paste, put it together, and let's test with our power button and see if it turns on normally. And if it does, that means it's either power button or his ribbon cable. One of the two is bad. So let's put this together. Okay, here goes mine. This should be a T8. Is it T8 or T9? I am blind. I can barely see that. It's a T8. And make sure it's set to 2. Yep, torque 2. Torque 2 as if you were to be tighten it with, by hand, kinda. That's what torque 2 is. We don't tighten it all the way just yet. We tighten just enough for us to get all the screws in, and then we'll tighten it all the way right afterwards. There we go. Oh, I'll just hit the board right now. Oh, there's no components there, but I'll check right now under the microscope. Let's check. Nico, but bitch, I'm setting up my home micro soldering office as we speak, bro. I'm glad I found, you're from Cali. No, I'm not from Cali. Never been in Cali. Well, I think I've only passed by there, but I've never really been to Cali, and I don't think you'll ever see me move to Cali. As a Republican, that is, of course. I don't think I'd ever live in Cali. Nevertheless, I have no hate towards them. They can do whatever they want, so long as they don't bring it to Texas. I'm from Texas. That's where I'm from. I was learning with skills with both do. Okay, my dream is what you're doing. Having storefront out here in LA, man, that's awesome. That is awesome, bud. Got a buddy out there. Call him a buddy, although I've never really met him in person, but he goes by the name of Computer Booter on his YouTube, of course. As far as his name, honestly, I'm not even sure what his name is, but I've got him on Discord, and I've messaged him in the past. He has a store out there in LA, I think, somewhere in California area. I'm not sure exactly where, but yeah. That's awesome, bud. Yeah, having your storefront, that's awesome. It's kind of difficult to start. Have to get permits and such to be able to open up your business, finding the proper area to put your business, and knowing what you want. If you want to have also retail side, or do you want to only do repairs? I do both, and I do a little bit of everything within the retail side. However, I concentrate solely on video game related items, versus only cell phones and such. A lot of repair shops have cell phones, like cell phone cases and stuff like that. My passion is video games, so I prefer that over cell phone cases and screen protectors and selling cell phones. Although we do sell cell phones, as they come in, of course. We don't buy from big box retail stores. We buy them from customers whenever they bring them in. Most of the items that come in, cash value, we don't offer no more than 50%, or at least we try not to. Because we need to make some money ourselves. We need to make some money, or else how are we going to keep the lights on? Alright, I'm plugging in my power cable right now. And it just came loose. That's the reason why. The Nexus connector, it's broken. No wonder this thing is not working. That's the one. I bet you they broke the Nexus connector, babe. I bet you these people broke the Nexus connector off of his console. Whomever worked on it before. I was like, why did it fall off? We just put it in there. Well, the Nexus connector is broken. I put these controllers back there, Daniel. Put the controllers in the back, please.
So all of them work, just 2 of them have sticky reset.
Okay. Just write down with the labels and put on there what's wrong with them. That way we know what's wrong with them. Or else we're gonna have to test them again. I'll be like, I don't remember what was wrong with it.
These are nothing really. But I don't think you would want to do this one.
Huh?
You don't want to do this one? This is the analog?
The analog? No, analog, we're not replacing analogs. Buttons, yes. Analogs, no.
So not this one?
Not on third parties. Analogs, I would only change on originals. Yeah. Exactly, but do it all like, yeah, Northridge Fix, exactly, just like Northridge Fix. I do it all as well. I do it all. The only thing is I don't take in, and I will say this, I don't take any TVs. It's just not worth it. Parts are too expensive for them, and they're too bulky, big and bulky. I don't like that, and I don't do audio equipment, like amplifiers and stuff. I don't do those either. But otherwise, just about anything I do. Buying donors, yeah, we also buy donors, so long as they're within, they're not too old. I've had people trying to sell me stuff from like 10, 15 years ago. Those are probably just gonna sit there, honestly. We don't get very many like old devices. Like maybe the ones I would take, it's like video game consoles if they're broken. However, if it's like old, very old laptops, I don't take those. Or very old PCs, they're just going to sit there because we don't get very many old PCs or laptops. Alright, so this one's got a broken Nexus connector. This was taken to a prior repair. Let me show you over here what's going on. This Nexus connector right over here, whoever worked on it before, they broke it. This Nexus connector, it's not supposed to be broken from here like that. You see how that's broken? It's not supposed to be like that. So we're going to go ahead and desolder this real quick, and then we're going to put a new Nexus connector. And to do that, what we do is we add some flux. Flux, of course, helps with the flow of solder. So we're going to add a tad bit of flux over here, tad bit of flux on the ground legs over here. And then we're going to put this towards the edge of the workbench. Let's put our nozzle on our air on our hot air station. And let's remove this. Let me move this a little bit more towards the right. That way it gives me some room. And then we're going to heat it up from the bottom. Same process we do. Why does it look so bright? There we go. Wasn't sure why it was looking so bright, but it was looking way too bright. Oh. Okay. You're going to heat it up from the bottom until the solder melts. And then we're going to remove that Nexus connector off of there. This Nexus connector is what allows the power button to function. If the power button or the power ribbon cable, the ribbon cable for the power button, it's not making contact with these pins, it's not going to power on. So, heat it up from the bottom, and then we're going to remove this Nexus connector. Okay. Nexus connector is out of the way. And I would normally touch it up with some leaded solder, but what the solder has on, it's fine. We're going to grab our new Nexus connector. Okay. And now we're just going to push that right where it needs to be. And we're going to heat this up from the bottom. And then solder the new connector on. Get a bit closer. Can you guys see? Okay. We're going to get a bit closer to that. Okay, Nexus connector, there it is, and melt it. We're going to press it down. Okay, pins made contact. Let's remove our hot air. Let the solder solidify before we release. Okay. And then we're going to check our work real quick. We may end up having to touch up the pins. Yeah, those pins need a touch up. Let me put something over here because it keeps moving. Okay. Yeah, let's just retouch those pins a little bit. So touch those pins, just the pins themselves. We're going to add a little bit of flux over here. Everything else is fine. Just these pins. I don't like the way they look. In the sense that there's still quite a bit of gold, especially this middle one over here. Not sure if it actually soldered on, so there we go. Just like that. Just like that. It's a little bit too much solder now. Let's take some of the solder away from our tip. And then take the solder away from this. There we go. Let's add a little bit of flux just to make sure that the solder flows properly on our tip. There we go. And that is perfect. And then we use Kimtech wipes and we clean the flux we just put on there. Always clean up your mess. You don't want to leave any of the mess, and I know I'm always saying that, and that's only because I've worked on repairs before that other technicians have gone in there and worked on it, and I gotta tell you, they leave their mess behind. But otherwise, this repair practically done. So buying donor repair boards on eBay is a big deal also. Yes, it is. Except buying donor boards, I gotta tell you, has sometimes can be more expensive than buying an actual working device. Some people try to sell their non-working boards for way too much, and it's not good at all. You just bought 7 JDMs or 500 PlayStation 4. Okay. You're gonna be looking into tests for parts. Okay, cool. You're grading it from donor, right? No, I did not grab that part from a donor. I buy parts as well. Some of the parts we have suppliers for, where we buy the parts from. We buy them cents on the dollar versus donor boards. Because usually when you buy a donor board, sometimes it can be cheap because you've got a whole bunch of components. However, you only get one sometimes of specific component. For example, the ESD booster chip, you can only get one off of that board. The ESD video encoder, those are just examples. You can only grab off of one. So sometimes you need to have more than just one of a specific type of part. So, you have to be able to find a supplier where to buy from, especially if you do or you have certain common repairs. So whatever is common or whatever you repair that's common, you need to make sure you have stock for that specific repair. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck just ordering and ordering and ordering only when you have the repair. And sometimes customers don't have the patience. They want the repair that same day. So you have to make sure you have that part readily available whenever they come in. What heat and fan speed are you using? So with regards to the heat, for that Nexus connector, I was using 900 degrees Fahrenheit. As far as and I'm using Fahrenheit, of course. I'm not using Celsius. Celsius is probably 400 degrees Celsius. I'm thinking that's probably what it would translate to. I'm thinking. I'm not 100% sure though, because I don't use Celsius. As far as the airflow, I'm using 100% or 120% because that's what it shows on there. Okay, let's try this again and let's see if it'll work. Oh. Let's try this again. This should work. And anytime you're doing any sort of micro soldering work and or you're using hot air, you got to look in the surrounding areas. Now, I've worked on this before and I've done this type of repair before. But anytime you're using hot air on the motherboard, you have to look at your surroundings to see if you have any sort of plastic, any plastic parts. Hell, Hatish Mandra, it's waving. Hey, hello. Appreciate you waving. So you have to look at the surrounding areas if you've got any sort of plastic. You don't just want to blast hot air because you don't know if there's any plastic parts or components surrounding that area. And or if you have the type of capacitors that basically will blow up upon you adding heat to it, So you have to look at the surrounding area before you even add any hot air at all. Now, again, with that one, I've already done this repair before multiple times. So I already knew that there's no plastic parts in that area. And I knew that I could just add some hot air, remove that old part, put the new one on there. So yeah, let's go ahead and put these connectors back. I forgot to put these back earlier. For sensitive parts, so you have to mess with it. So he's asking the question is, or should I say, what hot air, heat, and fan speed do you recommend? So with regards to the hot air and the speed you use, that's going to depend based on what type of device, what type of motherboard actually you are working on. For example, if you're desoldering or soldering on a component on a PC motherboard, video game console motherboard, bear in mind these are really, really thick. Thicker. Usually I'm like maxed out almost on my hot air, with maxed out airflow. Usually that's where I have it. Unless I'm working in an area where there's plastic components, then I reduce my heat as well as my airflow. So it depends on the area. Now, if I'm working on a cell phone logic board, I'm going to reduce my heat as well as the airflow, because you don't want to put too much heat in that area, if that makes any sense. So it's gonna depend on what exactly you're working on, to be honest. There isn't a one temperature and airflow to each specific motherboard. But I will say again, I'm usually maxed out with my heat and airflow, especially if there's no components or plastic parts. I just blast it to remove it and blast it to put it back on. Once it's soldered on, you could just remove your hot air, if that makes sense. Hopefully, I'm explaining it. It's kind of difficult to say, to be honest. But mine's, I have two temperatures. I have 950 degrees Fahrenheit with max airflow, and I have 314 degrees Fahrenheit with max airflow. 314, I'm only using that to like loosen up the adhesive on labels whenever I'm tearing it down. But again, overall, my default, it's usually max heat with max air. All right, let's plug in our power cable as well as our HDMI cable, and let's see if this thing is going to display for us. It should, but again, we're testing. Plugging in my power cable to the power supply, and let's press our power button. Okay, console, it's powering on. Just to show you here real quick, that's the power button right there. It is powering on, and let's see if it's going to display for us. Only way it won't display is if it's displaying is if the ESD booster chip, which is the DDC chip down below, if a lot of heat was put on there. Bear in mind it was worked on before previously by someone else. They added heat and then we added heat, and sometimes heat can actually kill that specific chip. But in this scenario, we're golden. We are golden. We're going to turn this off real quick, and we're going to put it together, and then we'll send the invoice, and customer, pretty positive they're going to come and pick it up today. So let's go ahead and finish putting this thing back together. Power button's working. Everything's working. The who? Eject button. Well, it's not the power button that was broken. It was the the Nexus connector, which I believe is the same board. Yeah, it's the same board for both. Huh? I got everything. I got everything because this one also needed the power button and the eject button to be fixed, and that's something that I haven't taught you how to troubleshoot, so it'd be like, I don't know how to do that. Okay. Ah, I'm already forgetting my. I'm doing the same thing you're doing, man. Forgetting the Bluetooth module.
Yeah.
I always forget that as well, to be honest. Without that Bluetooth module, controllers will still work. However, they're going to be kind of laggy. And I forgot to put the rest of the screws on this thing. I was so like trying to concentrate to put this to test that I forgot to put the rest of the screws. I'm starting to put things together like a rookie. Think you starting to rub off on me, man. Nah, it ain't your fault. I'm just joking. It's supposed to be the other way around. That's all right. We'll put this together properly. So they were like yesterday, whenever you went and you did your tournament, they were like, "Man, are we playing with the beginner?"
Huh?
If they said, "Are we playing with the beginner?"
No. It's because the other guy was using a different controller. I was like one of the two that was using the GameCube. So he had the upper hand. I was planning to switch, but they didn't let me switch.
Oh, he had the upper hand.
This is, as I said, the adapter wasn't working right, and it made my controller mess up.
Hmm.
Couldn't do much. I mean, I asked if I could switch, but the match was already started.
So they were like, nope, you can't switch. I'm like, you're gonna lose. He's gonna beat you as you disconnect.
I was mad, dude.
I had asked you if you had tested it the day before.
Yeah, it was working right.
You said it was working, so I was like, I guess. Oh yeah.
But also the C button wasn't fully on. Sometimes it was working, sometimes I got loose and it stopped. But now it's fine.
Oh yeah.
The button that we get me, back on.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Okay. How's it going?
I think I found some good ones.
Oh man, Pokemon cards. It's one of those things where
Some of those from 95. I'm pretty sure.
You probably have different sizes though. Mm.
When you get to that one with the, what it's missing in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask you what it is.
$95. These are newer.
Yeah, there's some 2023, 24, I think. There's some 95.
They're not kept in the greatest shape though.
No.
See, you got like.
Those right there. What are those? When I pulled them up, the picture was full. You know, the sticker had been put in there or something.
Yeah, so these have stickers on them. The stickers have already been peeled off.
Okay. And with those.
Yeah, these aren't nothing. These are like the free ones they add in there for each like Pokemon that you get whenever you get a pack, like one of those boxes.
Yeah.
You get some free cards with them, and that's what this is. And sometimes you get some of these as well.
Yeah.
So those wouldn't be anything at all. Man, I honestly wouldn't know what to even offer you on any of these, man. We don't necessarily buy Pokemons loose like this.
Right.
Usually we buy them if they're like brand new in a box like those, but we got a supplier for that, to be honest. And we buy a box like that for about 15-20 bucks, and of course we're able to retail it for about 50 to 70.
What do you know the message of these? Like what that buys them good.
So these cards, do you know the here off of Azel, Jacksboro Highway? There is a games. Is it over here? By Target, actually. Target over here on the Lake Worth.
Yeah.
To the right of that, there is a they sell Pokemon cards and they buy them as well.
Have you heard about the one on Montgomery? You know the Montgomery Antique Mall.
No.
It's called Pokeana or something like that. I pulled it up earlier, and I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, no. The only one I can refer you is to this one over here.
You know the name of it?
I don't know the exact name. You got my phone, babe?
There's a couple of those cards I pulled out. They were.
It's a card shop, though. The one I'm referencing, it's a card shop.
He buys and sells.
They buy and sell, and they also trading cards and stuff like that, where they trade cards with
Because there was a couple of these
customers.
like these right here. They were worth. I mean, it says they're worth something. I don't know.
And that's where my knowledge, it's limited with Pokemon
Right.
cards, honestly. So I hate to make an offer. Just like did you end up selling your PC?
The Sci-Fi Factory, like where comic books.
Yep.
were.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Those three right there, or something. That one.
So it's next
One of these
to
two.
PetSmart.
Oh, okay. I know
In the
what that.
corner.
I know what that.
I can tell you if they're worth something or if they're not.
These are really.
Charmander, maybe. Because Charmander was always sought out.
Man.
This one's pretty.
There you go. Now it's not worth much.
It was one of these two. Something.
This one's is the very top one right there. Low end, oh, $5.
Yeah.
$5 for that one.
Mhm.
That's how much that one goes for. That just scans it and it tells you what it sold for last.
Yeah, I just googled it. So
This one.
is that one? No.
What base set is this? This is not a legendary condition. 80 HP. Yeah, this looks like that's what it is. So that one shows it's loading. $4 for that one. So yeah, they're not, like huge money makers. Like the Charizard, those are usually
Those are the two that I pulled up there or something.
these two right here.
One of them was, I mean, a dumb price. I don't know if I did it right.
No, this one's $1.
Yeah, what was that one?
That one right there, it's low, $1. That's also $1.
She said that Charmander, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a few cents.
You know a lot about them?
Yeah.
All right, check them out.
Usually,
No, this is like cents and $1.
usually these base sets ones, they'll have if they don't have a symbol or nothing here, that means they're base set unlimited. Usually if they're not hollow, they're not.
Hollow means holographic thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
hollow in here. Usually
That's
the
like
base
15
set-
cents.
Usually the hollow ones like they're here,
Mhm.
they'll cost more, but if they don't have nothing, they're not really worth much. Like this one could be worth something. Did you check the price?
I think you pulled that one up. It was
How much was this
like
one?
$5.
That was like $5.
Yeah, usually there's only some cards that are. Wait, you guys look at the one that's hollow. There's no. I guess that is the normal one. Try this one. Or look, I don't use that one. Use price chart.
Price charting?
Yeah.
You can actually scan the card?
And price chart?
Mm-hmm.
You usually can see the cards in price chart.
No, I mean scan the card. I prefer scanning
That's
it.
all I do. Just
And you don't have to on here. You don't have to do it.
So they came with a sticker and they were peeled.
Yeah, those won't be worth much.
He was telling me they're like in a, an extra
Yeah.
card.
Where'd you get these from?
This guy, see, I buy storage units, but this was a weird. This friend of mine,
Uh-huh.
all right, they grew up in this neighborhood right over there on East Side, in Polly,
Uh-huh.
and the guy down the street from him, he'd known his whole life. They moved and they left everything in the house. And the realtor came in and said, "We want it wiped out, get everything out." So they started going through everything, and they found all kinds of stuff. I mean, they found a bunch of Digimon.
Yeah.
I mean, stacks of them from
Stacks of cards?
old of them, like old 95, 96, 97.
Okay.
And this was the last batch that he found. I mean, he's got
Mm.
stacks of these things right now.
That's about right. Okay.
He told me whatever I get for him, he'd split with me. I said, hell yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, this hollow one, usually market price for this one is 23. But
Which is shit.
but the problem is it's usually market price if it's in good condition.
Right.
Yeah.
These I don't know. These ain't too great.
Like this wouldn't be $23.
Yeah.
This has scuffs on the corners.
Yeah.
This has scrapes in the bottom. Yeah, this one usually cards are for grading.
Yeah.
Like these would be grading, but this would be, as he said, probably like less than $5.
Yeah.
Because
I put most of these in the sleeves because he just had them just stacked in.
Yeah, that one is like $23, but it's not worth much.
You don't see any more in there worth it.
Yeah, this one usually breaks are not worth much. These I wish they were, and this one's beat up, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be worth anything. Let's see.
So you just know what to look for because you've been doing it so long.
I've been doing it for a while, yeah. These aren't worth much.
I knew I hired him for something.
Hey, he knows what he's talking about. That's a damn shit,
I
man.
don't know anything about Pokemon cards. So.
Those two could be worth something.
Hey, I brought a whole mess of VMAX in here one time. They were all fake. All of them were.
Oh yeah, this is not.
Which one?
This one's not. But this one.
How can you tell?
So, for this one's, it's usually just how the card feels.
Mhm.
It's too flimsy. The back is not the right
The color?
Yeah.
That's what we noticed last time. Man, we had like 6 of them lined up to right here, and they would be off. Every one of them would be off color. It was crazy.
That's not the right color. Yeah.
So what's the right color?
That's shaded as well.
That's the right color.
Yeah, that would be the right color. Like this one, let me see.
So it's more darker.
Usually it's just a regular. I mean, I have Pokemon cards with it.
Like-
I don't have them on me.
Like
But,
that one right there. See how dark that one is? This one.
Like newer.
That's shaded. That's like
Yeah,
light.
that one's like printed. Like this. These,
That is a print in it.
Yeah, those are printed. But yeah, this is nowhere near real at all. Usually you could just tell easily by looking at it. Or,
Yeah.
But like when you feel a card, it's
I
pretty
figured the way I was telling was that border. You know, that darker border. or
And
whatever.
if we look here also with this card, it has a bunch of scratches.
Mhm.
It would just devalue.
Is there a hologram in that or no?
Holographic?
Yeah.
There
Okay,
is.
there,
Mhm.
yeah.
But as I said, it's only worth 23.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of scratches.
Yeah,
damage,
yeah.
So it's not worth much. I mean, other than that, this is like the only.
So
value.
whenever these sell, what collectors are looking for, and the people that buy these, they're collectors.
Yeah.
And they collect them, and they want something that's in very, very, very good condition. Something like this, again, it's not.
Yeah.
It'd be difficult to sell it in that condition.
Yeah.
I mean, some people also just buy stuff just because they like it. But
Yeah.
usually collectors are just.
So none of those, any of those,
Yeah.
none of these.
Oh,
He looked at those. They're like,
oh, okay. These are something. These are top. Usually the ones that don't have the holographics,
Mhm.
they're not worth much. They're probably like $1 or something. But these are good cards. These, if it's not the complete,
yeah, they'll have a
set,
sticker on it. I didn't even know it had a sticker.
yeah. Usually, I mean, those are not worth anything.
Because when I scanned them and I pulled them up, they were filled. You know.
But these are very old. These are. I'm pretty sure this is damaged. Can't see how much.
When you say old, what do you mean? Like when they started them?
Now when they started them, there's this thing.
You hired some good help here. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
He knows about Pokemon
Yeah,
cards. It's a good thing.
The people who made these cards, they're not the people who made these. These were from Topps, who made like sports cards.
Before now.
No, these were out before this, but
Oh, okay.
but these were made by a different company. These were made by the people who make the sports cards.
Yeah, I got thousands of times.
Yeah, sports cards. Company decided to make these, but they stopped. The Topps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's really about it.
So it was like a limited edition run.
Yeah, but usually, people, they're not worth as much, but they're worth a good amount. But if they're not like in good condition, it wouldn't be worth much.
Those are decent, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
I didn't realize that hologram stuff was so much more money.
No, these are. Well, I'm guessing for this. I don't know how old they are, but you can see here the edges.
Mhm.
They're all bent. So, again, if you're selling something like this, you're selling to collectors,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
they usually want something that's in pristine condition. But
How much does the cards get? Cards graded?
It depends on who you send it to.
it can be roughly about $70.
Yeah. But there is a new rule. The usual one that we for Pokemon is PSA. They made a new rule not long ago. When you send cards, to grade you more.
Yeah, that place up there on 75. I go up there sometimes. The Pokemon place up there. They bought the Pokemon film from me. That's it. That film in their display they bought from me.
Oh, okay.
And you know what the son bitch did? He sold it frame by frame. I mean, he got me. I said, dude, I sold it to him for $750. I said, look, if you bank on this, you're gonna break me off. He goes, of course. He said he was gonna put it in his display, and he did. The case.
Yeah.
But then he broke it off and sold him $35 a frame. You know how many frames are in a big movie?
Mhm.
Yeah, he banked, didn't break me off nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much here, but it's just PSA graded.
Mhm.
It's barely $40.
But it's PSA graded, meaning that it's been graded sent to.
Okay. So yeah, ungraded foil one that we have here is $40. This is not a rainbow foil. So the rainbow foil is you see like little
Yeah.
or something. So this is a regular hollow foil one. It would be 18, and barely getting a grade 7 would only be $1 up, and this is
Probably a 7 or lower.
yeah, this would be lower, so it'd be anything lower than 18. So this one would be worth much. And for this one,
So this is not a rainbow?
no, it's just a regular one.
Rainbow's more?
Yeah, usually the rainbow ones are more.
I didn't even notice that. Living in they were full.
It's just reward.
So what's the main one you want? The Charizard? What is it called?
I mean, no, that's the old cards. And the one you're talking about, the Charizard?
Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard, yeah. That one's are only some sets. There's different sets nowadays. There's more Pokemon that are more popular now.
What are your newest ones you got? Like, do you have any new ones? Like
Team Rocket's one of the newer ones.
Yeah,
I don't have any of those.
What years are these?
That the
No,
one that
those just I only have one set right there.
that set came out last year.
Yeah. Yep.
What's this one right here?
That's the game.
Oh, that's the game.
Yeah, I don't. That's the only set I have right there.
Yeah, that
And the set is how many cards?
set comes with 8 packs, and it comes with like dividers, cards, and like a pack of energy cards, and that's about it.
Because that's what that dude up there kept saying. He goes, "Do you have a box set?"
And this is that's $2.
Oh, yeah.
So usually, then plus they're in bad condition, so
Yeah.
there's-
Would this be worth? Because the Pokemon place, you know, the one in Montgomery Street Plaza, the antique mall, Pokeana or something like that. You heard of it?
Tokyo Aces.
Yeah, that's it. The Poke Oasis.
Yeah.
Are they worth going to or no?
not this.
Not
I'd
this?
say
No.
they wouldn't give you anything.
All right. What do you think these are worth, all these? I
Um,
mean, I've got literally nothing in it, so I'm
It's
just
worth nothing. It's worth nothing.
I'm trying to curious if it's even worth messing with.
In my opinion, of course, I don't know much about Pokemon, but
They're-
they're in rough shape.
Yeah, they're in rough shape. They would be really worth nothing. Like the whole pack itself,
Mhm.
would be like $5.
Oh, we got 5-0. I'm thinking it's 5-0. I don't know if it is.
So, but like, yeah, they're in really rough shape, bad condition.
Yeah.
It wouldn't really get graded much since they're bad.
Graded will shoot it through the roof though if it comes out a good grade.
Yeah, they will shoot it out the roof. Like grades, it depends on the card also and the popularity of the card.
Mhm.
On grade 10 or 9 is usually what you want to get for it. Anything lower than that is kind of iffy. Yeah, but that's
Hello.
That's all I can really.
How can I help you?
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
And I've been able to pop it back on before, but this time it's very picky. So it won't.
So unfortunately, on these type of Apple MacBooks, we don't replace the keyboards, and that's only because in order to replace the keyboard, you have to undo various plastic components. The only way to get something like this replaced is to replace the entire bottom.
I
And
did read that, but I was hoping maybe something could be fixed.
no, unfortunately, no. We don't know. We don't do the keyboards. Too tedious, and
Yeah.
the time it would take to get it replaced, it would almost be about the same amount of replacing that bottom. So we've chosen not to replace those keyboards unless customers are okay with replacing the entire bottom part.
So the whole bottom part.
Correct.
Crazy. Which would be like very expensive.
It could be costly, yes. I can give you a price if you like, with how much of it costs. When I saw the SUV pulling up, I was like, oh, we got 5-0 coming in. Because I saw the grill.
You know what? People think it's like that a lot. We bought it used, and someone lived on a dirt road, you know, that we
Yeah.
walked around so dear. And yeah, but I have a lot of people tell me it looks like a police officer.
Well, I work for the city, so they
Oh.
usually have vehicles.
Yes.
What model is this, if I may ask?
MacBook Pro.
Alrighty.
What you picking up or?
No, she wanted her laptop fixed. She just wanted the key fixed. However, oh, I don't know who came yesterday.
Long hair. She only had one key.
Yes, but I don't know if it's the same one or not.
Is your mic still on?
Yeah, it's cool. All right, let's finish this. I know he wants to pick up today. We got 2 hours. We close at 5, man. Oh. Nope, today we close at 5.
Pop on Sundays. Nope.
We have to rest. We have to rest.
You said the only holiday, yeah. Let's say holidays not right.
Not all of them.
Not all.
Only some that pertain to like Father's Day, because it's my day. Then yes, but if it's Mother's Day, no.
Well, you wanted to work on Father's Day.
I'm just messing with you. No, we don't take every holiday off. Only some. Christmas, yes. Babe, can you give me a cold water, please, since you're there? Thank you.
Huh?
What did you eat?
All right, let's go ahead and test. Is this going to work? I don't know. All right, let's take a look here. Well, I'm glad you know about Pokemon, man, because I don't know nothing about Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Pokemon cards are not my thing.
Pokemon.
Probably up front.
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Magic the Gathering. I don't like that. Not my thing. But I know the word of what I know. Digimon, I don't know much about. There's One Piece cards too.
Yeah. What should you get that from?
One Piece cards. Like, I like watching anime and stuff, and I like watching like the Pokemon stuff. But when it comes to like about cards themselves,
Yeah.
not so much. And this thing is not displaying.
There's actual TCG stuff. Right? There's a Dragon Ball one. I know Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
Actually, yesterday I bought the Dragon Ball cards. Go to Black cards.
You say you bought some cards?
From Dragon Ball, yeah. Right.
Oh, look, I put the wrong one. I'm like, why is it not working? Because you put the wrong HDMI cable.
Damn, this actually looks a lot nicer. I don't know. It's just it's not so like
Crowded. Yeah. And then these controllers over here. There we go. Yep, it's working. Close the ticket out.
Well, you want me to work on anything?
You already completed the testing?
PS4 taking a while.
What's wrong with these?
Those are broken.
For parts?
Oh yeah, this one works.
It works? Then goes.
This one does not work. My fault. Yeah, this is broken part too.
Okay, so I got a project for you, man. And this is a very, very important project. Where is that box? Is it this? Yeah, this is it. This stuff, I need you to take, like, clean them up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then take, or have my wife take the picture. And I need these posted up on eBay. All together. We're selling this together, and I think I have a console for them
How much?
here. We need to look at
You want me to look at it back?
prices, and we're just gonna sell it at whatever we're selling for. Try to see if you could test them. So the consoles are here. I don't know if these consoles are good or not. Try to see if you could plug it in here.
Okay.
And if these work, also clean this up as well, and then test each
Are you
one.
not gonna want to refurbish them?
Yes.
Yeah.
We just want to clean them.
Okay.
We want to clean them really good. It's old stuff, so see if you can figure it out. I've never played with one of those before, so I couldn't even tell you exactly how this even works because I've never
messed with this before, but I always wanted to. No.
See if you can figure it out.
Try my best.
Hello. I'm coming right out.
I got my Xbox for James Cadle.
Yes. All right, so a component that wasn't part of the repair actually fried on it.
Okay.
So we replaced the HDMI originally, the HDMI port, as well as the ESD booster chip.
Mm-hmm.
However, you also What again?
This only counts for this one. And that big box.
Damn. So this one's not for that.
No?
Nope.
Well,
This
this
one, usually these older TVs
Yeah.
have it's for like an antenna. Yeah. Which no, this one doesn't have it. It has an antenna right there, kind of like an antenna, but no, that's not it. That's a good question, man. I don't know how this thing's work. Yep. Alrighty.
You still streaming?
Yes, I am. Gonna find.
Video. Pokemon card. Okay, that's the problem. I don't know what Atari game is, but 2600.
All right, this Xbox is ready. They should be here any minute. I would think.
We'll be on and we'll stay in that room. But it will be on.
proceed with these repairs real quick. Got Nintendo Switch. This one should be a fairly easy one. This one's just the SD card is not being detected, or yeah, detected. I guess you could say it's not going in there no more. Give me a second. These kids are just yelling. Test. Okay. My audio was missing. Now it's back.
No, charge system is horrible.
Just type in the name. It should come up.
Yeah, but there's a lot of versions of it. Well, there's two versions. My bad. I don't know which one it's for. There's Atari 2600. Oh wait, and there's different labels. Well, let's try Google Maps. Maybe that will work. Do I have to? I don't have to. Let me see.
Yeah, that SD card's not working. Okay, SD card is now being detected. That was an easy fix. Yeah, oh, I forgot to add the Nexus. The Nexus connector. Oh man. That was my fault. Ah. It's just an extra $10. It's just $10 for the part. Should have been extra in labor, but it's okay. I prefer having a returning customer. And I thought que íbamos a agarrar más today, but no. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we should just switch our Mondays to Sundays. And just work Monday through Saturday. Tuesday through Saturday. Or Monday through Saturday. No. No, that would not work. We're not making that kind of money to take 2 days off.
$3. Get chips.
Hmm. Yep. That includes that other stuff that we did over there. You have to add those as well. Okay, SD cards being detected. Yep.
I tried to separate it.
No, that's me.
Oh, you separated it?
Yep.
Wait, did you notice there was different ones?
Yep.
What's a Cupid game? I like the Cupid game. A star for Cupid. This is. Oh. This is 1980. I don't know what this is. Oh, is that how you tell the difference for television and color? The bottom. Oh, okay. Cute.
All right. Switch is ready. So these, babe, I've already finished. These have to be added into the system and create a
Reversing.
yep, and add all the parts from that one. Same thing with that one. This one, he may want to get it because he said he wanted a Gengar
Oh, okay.
SP. Still put a regular price. I'll see if I can work with him. Maybe. It just depends on how much we have in it. We still need to make a little bit of money off of it. We can't sell everything at cost for our employees.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Okay. Working this laptop. The one that, what's his name, brought to us. This one here. Let's see what's going on with it. More than likely, those up at the top, every part has been ordered except for the Xbox. The Xbox, I need to order the. Let me see if there's any. Maybe I should try eBay. Everywhere else, they're just sold out.
Did you not charge your...
My what? Yes, I did. Oh, I guess. Oh, I found it. Yep. Let's see, parts only. It's sold out. Ah, it sucks. They are sold out. And that was a reasonable price too. They had 5 and they sold out. And these people want to sell a replacement motherboard, literally. A replacement Southbridge board for $299. These people must be stupid. I'm telling you, man. Replacement Southbridge board for $299 does not make sense. Rosales Super Tech, this is Leo. How may I help you? Yeah, she may have. But yes, I already completed the repair on your Nintendo Switch. Okay. Okay, no worries. We'll be here. Thank you as well. Bye. The dads can pick up the Switch. Huh? Yep. Yeah, it's out of stock. And no one else has that part available. I have to call them. I have to call them on Tuesday and let them know, hey, they're not available. It's okay. Let's work on this real quick. So we're gonna check audio issues. That's probably a driver problem. I know he said it was slow, lagging. Sometimes that's caused by overheating. So let's check his thermal paste real quick, and then yeah, we'll start there. I like to start here with the thermal paste rather than the insight, although he may have bloatware and stuff, because we're also going to check the integrity of his storage as well. We're going to see if the integrity of his storage is good. Hard drives, I don't know if he has a hard drive, NVMe. I don't know what this laptop has, but hard drives, they do tend to go bad.
We're at a total of $50. Okay, just a little bit.
Oh yeah? So hopefully we make our money back, plus more.
How much you got?
I don't remember. I have it somewhere written down. My wife wrote it down somewhere. Huh? On there? Then I don't know.
You had to write it down on the box. There was like no sticky note on it.
So this one I have an NVMe. Uh,
To what?
200.
200 for the console with the console?
I think so. I think it was 200. I know I had given him, I think, $100 originally, or 150 maybe, and then we gave him an extra 50 afterwards. If I remember, I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember.
No, but it's not this. This could look on the card even though it's for the Nintendo. Yeah, it's a little rubbing thing. I think this goes in there too. You know the cable
That goes to the antenna.
of the antenna.
Maybe. No. No, I don't think so.
On back.
¿Vas a querer llevar a los niños a las películas o no? ¿No? ¿Por qué? ¿Ah? No. That's definitely a no.
It makes you mad.
I sure don't. No, that shit looks gay.
What movie?
It looks boring.
It looks bland. It looks too bland. It's just like every other Disney movie.
It looks boring to me. Mm.
We haven't gone to driving in a while.
The whole place wasn't that bad, actually. It wasn't that dry and crusty. We'll replace it either way.
I can envision them making gameplay for this. ColecoVision. Yeah.
Your mom's still out of town?
Huh?
Your mom's still out of town?
Yeah, she's not coming back till Saturday.
Oh, next week?
Yeah. Wow, this ColecoVision one. $1 different.
Who's cooking your food? You cook? Well, that's good, man. You got some skill sets that I don't have.
Okay.
Hell no, and I don't want to learn either. I got a wife. Got a wife that can cook for me. I do the grilling though.
Really? I need to learn how to do grilling. I never tried.
My mom taught me how to grill.
Yep. Mm-hmm. My mom actually taught me how to grill. I didn't know how to grill.
My mom said, "Oh,
I kept asking her questions every time she would grill. Like, how does she know?
And nowadays everyone's like, they have culinary in school,
Uh-huh.
but kids doing culinary.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a course I would ever join. Hell no. I wouldn't join it because I don't want to learn how to cook. I prefer just getting me a wife to cook.
Yeah, my girlfriend took culinary.
it's raining."
Why? Okay. I go back and I watch it after work at night.
Bobby said no. Bobby said no. Okay. Look at your dad. Look at your father. Don't your dad.
Hey.
That's your dad.
No.
Everybody.
You're not getting enough, baby boy. Are you gonna behave? Are you gonna stop crying? No, when I was single, I didn't know how to cook, so I tried cooking.
Yeah.
Like literally, I tried cooking,
Yeah.
and of course, I never knew this, man. I didn't know that you're not supposed to put water when you have oil in the pan. So I was washing the dish or one of the spoons that I was gonna use. I think it was eggs that I was cooking, and I washed it, and I still had a little bit of water in that thing. And as soon as I put the spoon in there and the water fell in the oil, it just caught on fire. And I said, "Nope, never again. It ain't for me."
Yeah, you gotta make sure you try stuff.
I said,
man.
"Nope, never again will I do this." So ever since then, I would only buy like preheat stuff, like the corn dogs, taquitos, the ones you buy at Walmart.
Easy.
Stuff that's already made, you
Yeah.
just put in the microwave.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ever since then,
That's what you lived off.
that's what I lived off of for the longest.
No, I had, like, I learned how to cook because I was with my mom a lot. My mom always kept me in the kitchen with her,
Hmm.
so I just watched her. She never let me have the phone. Okay.
No, my wife does the cooking at the house, so I'm gonna leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. I'll let her do the cooking. I'll do everything else, but cooking, no. Unless she wants me to see burn down the kitchen. No, that day that traumatized me. That was scary.
Really? You almost burned down that.
Hey, those flames were literally going up where the vents at. That went up high, and that was a little bit of water.
Yeah, we had a whole bunch of water. Oh,
That was a little bit of water. I was like, oh no. That was a little bit of water that just spilled a little bit in there. Well, it's however much fits in the spoon, I guess you could say.
Was it the whole spoon?
And almost, I guess you could say.
You said you were cooking?
Yeah, I was washing it. Yeah, that's why cooking's not for me, man. You know, everybody has their own traits. Cooking's not one of them for me. Well, I told myself never again would I put myself in that situation, and I haven't. I can grill though.
I usually just watch my brother grill.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can do. I can grill. Anything in the grill, I'm all for it.
Anything in the grill?
Anything outside in the grill, I'm all for it. But when it comes to cooking in the kitchen, that's where I say no. Because in the grill, I could pour water. It's not gonna. It's not gonna blow up. All right, let me check the integrity of this end before I unplug that. Let me undo the battery here real quick. I'm gonna check the integrity of this NVMe. Just need to make sure that it is at 100%. Because he said it was lagging. Sometimes it could be a bad SSD, but I don't know if that is the case with this one though. We're just gonna check real quick. It is bent though. This thing is bent.
What does that mean?
This SSD, I don't know. Do you guys see that? It's got a little bow to it. It literally has a tiny bow to it. Do y'all see that? I don't know. Let me plug it in. Huh? Okay. Huh?
Oh, is this supposed to be Indiana Jones or something?
I don't know. Zombie Cad, did you disconnect battery before you started loosening the bolts? Bolts on what? No, you loosen the battery whenever you're working on disconnecting certain components, but like the fan and stuff like that, you don't really have to loosen the battery. Oh wow. Brawly? It's a little figure. Once you start disconnecting, like actual things from the motherboard, like these connectors for the fan connectors, you really don't have to have the battery disconnected. So I did not. Or the bolts for this, you really don't have to because you're not really messing with anything electrical, if that makes any sense. The SSD, however, yes, you have to disconnect the battery for it. Put a dude out. Best viewer on Stream Boo. Why do we have people referencing their own channels and stuff or promoting other channels? I'm gonna have to put something here to avoid from anything with an @ I'm gonna block it from ever appearing.
Names what? Which one did you see?
Right here, best viewers on whatever streamboo.com. Anything.com or that, I'm gonna have to block it. I don't want that to pop up at all on my streams. Alright, so the health Let me show you real quick. Come on. There we go. Health of the NVMe. I believe it's good. We're about to find out together, actually. Alrighty. Okay. There it is.
Rancho the beefsteak tomatoes.
Somebody said my boy's here. Nobody. Why didn't that actually pop up on my chat? I don't see that in the chat at all. Dave sent something, but I'm not sure exactly from where. It says, Dave and Brad and my boys here. Nobody. I didn't even see that at all. I'll be there here in a little bit. All right, let's check to see if this SSD is in good health. And it is. This is the SSD. The software we use is called Hardest Sentinel. And as you can see, it's actually at 96% health. And it does not have any bad sectors of any sorts. State of the disk or NVMe, it is, which actually, let me move my face out of the way. My face is gonna stop right there. 100%. It's 100% health. I'll be right back, y'all.
It just doesn't cover accidental damage or like if you accidentally drop it, it won't cover it.
Oh, okay.
You're told 183 and it'll be on the Bueno, okay. Yeah. No sé.
Did you check your CPU to see if you had like bent pins or anything like that on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you did say you tried it.
Everything, and I'm only on CPU.
Just didn't work.
It was a real struggle for today.
Where it says tip, do no tip.
Hmm?
And then you can.
Struggle
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, awesome. And then it will be ready. Okay. ¿Tienes alguna pregunta?
No, thank you. And then you should see the terms of services come up.
Okay, don't forget the control. What? Yes. Ta-da. Nomás Lisa, the only one that might pick up today.
No, she said her husband's coming. Or not her husband, her baby daddy.
I'll just have it up here charging.
I'll get you a checking receipt here in a little bit. As soon as it prints out.
I don't have any here.
I do.
Pretty good. How can I help you?
You're gonna find it. I hear that.
We don't need your power cable. I'd hate to lose it.
I was literally about to.
I have power cables back there.
Okay. And then.
I'll get this off here. Ah. You don't have the screws for the case? No. That's okay.
I had just the one keep that closed, but a couple hours ago I just lost it.
I don't know if I have any extras. If I do, I'll put one on there. You'll be checking your seat, okay? You'll get a text message as soon as I start working on it, and you'll get one once we complete it. If we see that there's parts that are needed, I'll call you before we even make a purchase if you choose to proceed with it as well, okay? Got any questions for me, sir?
I just you let me know once you find it.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want to check system storage?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that when they were saying, I guess the SD slot was loose or whatever. So
So the SD card was not reading SD card. So if you go into systems, and then you should see system storage, or something storage. I forgot what that. I think is what they have it under. You should be able to see the SD card on there.
okay, yeah, all right, cool.
Will be cash part.
Uh,
And it'll be on the little one. Or it says tip, do no tip, and then you can do tap or you can. They'll definitely be happy. Hey, so cute.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
When I put it on here, it's $0.
$0 for that?
Oh well, technically, because there's nothing listed for it. But
Well, we're gonna put an overall price anyways, so we're gonna put them all in there. So
Okay, what do you want to do with this one though?
just leave it in the stack because we're gonna sell it all together either way.
Okay, I was just saying that this was listed as your because there's no listings.
That's fine. It's not gonna add to the profitability or the value,
Yeah.
but we're still gonna sell them all together. So if you can't find it,
Yeah.
that's fine. It's all gonna be sold together either way. Yep.
Because I know this game itself by itself, like with some other stuff.
Mhm.
And from what I saw, they were selling for like 7, 8, 7 or 8 with the cartridge.
So whatever price you see on there, we may end up increasing it just a tad bit,
Okay.
and we're gonna be open to offers. All right. So this SD card again, or not SD card, but NVMe, 500 gig. It's a 96%. There's no bad sector, so the NVMe, it's not the issue for his lagging. I'm thinking more so it's going to be thermal paste. It was a bit dry, bit crusty. I did see a little bow on the SD card as well. However, it's being read just fine. Being read just fine. Being read just fine, and it did 96%. So. Someone's already opened this thing before. No, now I see why this thing is bowed. There's this thing here causing an issue. Super Tech, this is Leo. How can I help you? You charge 145, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. See you then. Alrighty.
There's one lot with.
Just that? Those are going to be a little bit more, I think.
These all collectively?
I don't know. No, he forgot. He left it on the counter.
Keep it for him for later, or
You could trash it, to be honest. I don't care. Okay.
no.
We got 20 minutes left and we're gone.
Did you reply to mine?
I did, but I don't know. I'll say how much. I don't know if she'll reply back to me though.
15, 20.
Okay, we'll grab them. Give her the money back.
Big dog.
My fingers are getting tired.
Love this game.
Have you actually played some of those games, Atari games? Have you actually played them?
Most of the Atari games. Some of
Well, I know they're remade and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think I've only played the Atari 2600 once.
Mm.
That was for like minutes. But I was planning to go to the museum, the video game museum, because they have all the console games.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to check that out.
And you want to see the age of them, how it all started and stuff like that?
Yeah, plus how they work.
Have you seen the movie for Tetris?
Tetris? No, I want to watch it.
You ain't seen it yet?
No. Good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It shows you how it all started.
This is Big Dog, that's what I was looking at. I used to play this one all the time. The arcade.
Mm-hmm.
This is the games I played.
So growing up, of course we grew up poor, man. I've told you this in the past, right?
Yeah.
So we grew up poor, and we didn't have like a washer and dryer or any of that in the apartment we lived in.
Yeah.
We'd go to a laundromat every weekend.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Saturday mornings usually, or sometimes Saturday afternoon. We drive literally almost 20, 30 minutes out from where we lived to a laundromat. And in that laundromat, they had a whole bunch of arcades. They had Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. They had Mrs. Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I forgot what other one. They have several arcades, and that's like the only place we ever got to. We were able to play video games. Yeah, outside of potentially visiting friends. I remember we used to have a friend that had an N64, and we'd go to the friend's house.
Yeah.
Whenever they let us go in there, and we'd play some N64. Yeah, but that's like the only time we were. Or if we went to like our cousin's house. My cousin, he used to have a Sega Genesis, and they had some good games actually. A lot of the boxing games they had, and we'd play with them. They had Sonic. I had several games, and then we go to my cousin Johnny's. He'd have like every single console I think that they ever made. When he was little, he would have them. He had an NES. He had an SNES. He had almost every console. He had a Sega Genesis. I remember I was, kind of jealous a bit. I'm like, man, I want to play some Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
But my dad, he could never allow us to have any of that.
No.
Nope. He thought video games was the devil. He thought video games were the devil.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with me and my mom. We never really had a washing rack.
Yeah.
There was but a little bit, like 5 minutes away. There was a laundromat. It's on your mat. Oh, it didn't have that much arcade machines, but it had a couple. Dig Dug was one of them, and it had a racing one,
Mm-hmm.
and it had Street Fighter versus Capcom. What's the other one?
Yes,
Gear.
Street Fighter.
Uh,
Metal Gear, yeah.
Metal Gear, yeah. That one's fun.
Metal Gear is fun. I still like playing it now. Metal Gear is fun. Also, Capcom versus Marvel is fun as well.
Yeah, I love those games. Those are my favorites. And I think that's really all I had. And Metal Slug too.
Mhm.
What was that other one? I know there was one more. But sadly, when I went to go visit it again, I don't think there was none. When I went to go visit it again, they didn't have it before. I think they might have sold them to one of the arcade people that were around here, like Cider Arcade and Free Play.
I've been to Cidercade, but with Cidercade, I hate the fact that there's too many people smoking.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking by and smell all the smoke and stuff, I don't like that. I know that it's a grown-up place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think they should have like an outside area for smokers to go out there and smoke,
Yeah.
not in the play area. And I took my kids with me. You know, it's all arcades, old, but you got people literally just smoking out in public, and that I didn't like that at all.
There's this other one called Free Play.
Oh yeah.
That one's before Cider Arcade, I'm pretty sure. They have one here, Arlington. They have it mostly all around here, like Dallas, Richardson, Denton. This one is in Magnolia. It's in like towards the south side area.
Yeah.
It has a good like balance. It's like the bar slash arcade place, but they separate the bar and they have an outside part too. You go outside, there's the bar, and there's one like you go in. There's one section where it's just pure like games.
Man, this laptop is turning on, but it's not displaying. No, there it is.
No vision. We're getting to all the levels. All right, here we go. Time Pilot. $7. Well, they have a burger. It's
We're already at 234, just from a little bit of game.
Well, um, I need to run a stress test on this, but I'm not gonna be able to. I guess I'll have to call him. Call him on Monday. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. We have 7 minutes. Seven minutes. All right, y'all. We're in live. Thanks, everyone. We will probably come back live again sometime late in the evening on Tuesday. We're closed on Monday, so we definitely won't be live then. But Tuesday we will. Otherwise, peace. Stay blessed. We'll see you on the next stream.